Okay, you're good to start.
Hey, good morning to all. I guess I don't know how to go about this. Just let John lead us, I would imagine.
Well, I think that I sent the draft mask directive that it prepared with some input from different people. It includes the version I have is sort of a combination of the governor's North Dakota Smart Start has some sections in there, and it's a combination of what Fargo has done, and then I also added in the bracketed area a potential penalty section for businesses that have licenses that are in violation of it. It doesn't currently include any type of penalty other than it could be potentially applied against your license. I just want to first start out that this is a policy decision. So you guys tell me what the policy is, and I'll draft it. I've gotten a lot of suggestions, but at some point, I think it's really probably important to start from a high level, and then we can work down to the details. I mean, perhaps number one is, do you want some type of a requirement in place that people wear masks or not? That's probably the easiest point to start at.
This is Tina. My biggest concern, I like the way you worded this with the COVID-19 mask strategy, because my fear is, and we even talked about it here at this training because the chief of police is here, we can't enforce. We don't have the ability to enforce like a law or directive. All we're doing is putting more pressure on the business owner to say, to call the police and get somebody in trouble if we make it a law. And I think a fine, our police are busy right now doing just their everyday stuff. So that's my concern over making it something that's got a penalty to it. But what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, I like how John has it under the liquor establishments that it be based on a complaint basis and only be considered under review for a liquor license. I mean, it kind of helps push these liquor establishments where it's proven where the bars are one of the main super spreaders of COVID. I look at it like, I'm going to use an analogy of playing high school football. You can't go on the playing field unless you have a helmet. If you just can't. That's mandatory to wear a helmet. So it's just like for this, it's mandatory for you to wear a mask when you can't social distance. It's simple as that. And is there any fine or anything like that? No, but I think some people argue that it's too little too late. I would argue that doing something is better than doing nothing. If we can save at least one individual, we've done our job. So I like the way John has it written, just the way it is, unless others want to make some changes.
Brad?
Yep.
Okay. This is unfortunate, but I don't like that paragraph at all in there. I don't like that we're pretty much throwing everything on the business owners. And then 6, 7 months, 9 months later, when they come for their license, then we nail them. I mean, to me, this would be fine. I think we should take that completely out and go with the rest of the stuff. And I don't have an issue, but that one to me is just putting more pressure and stress on our bar owners rather than on the individuals, which is what it should be on if we did anything.
True.
Is there any other items? You can ponder that one, but.
Yeah, I guess the other big question I did under the exceptions, I did want to make it clear. So if you look under, if you look under 3A, we're clarifying that people are supposed to wear their mask from the time they enter the store or the restaurant to the time they sit down, kind of following Minnesota's requirement. When I looked at Fargo's, it wasn't clear to me if that was the intent with Fargo's, and I thought it was that if we're going to have these directives out there, we should offer some clarity to people on what we mean by them.
I like
agree.
that in there.
Yep, I like it too.
I like it too.
Okay. And then what's different than Fargo's is I incorporated the governor's 25% capacity in. I think that these two items really go hand in hand, that if you're gonna give a directive, you should, also adopt what the governor's done. While the governor's applies statewide, it's still nice to have our directive cover the same issues, just so there's consistency and that we're following, basically we're adopting what the governor has already said. If you want me to take that language out, I certainly can.
Well, and I don't care either way on this one, but it's already, recommended by the governor, so we can't change that anyway. So, so whether you put it in there or not makes no difference because we have to go by it. So it's just, I don't care, but it's just it's just one more complication, one more paragraph that people are going to look at and take the wrong way. Because let me tell you, people are going to take this the wrong way. We know it. It's about 50-50, right? So we're not going to win this no matter what, folks. You know that.
No,
but
either way.
Right. But the simpler we make it, I think the better off we'll be.
Okay,
I
so
agree.
did you want me to remove the references to the governor's program? And just one counterpoint, I thought it might be nice for residents and bar owners if they want to know, okay, they call Tina and say, what are the rules? She could just print them out and hand them to her, rather than here's something from the governor's office, here's something from the city. You figure out how the two work together.
I'm fine with it.
I think leave it in there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with it.
I like the idea of having it in there, and then if we change from orange back to whatever our better color is, yellow, green, whatever it is, does this roll with it so that the mandate's still in place, but you can increase capacity? Or would we have to change this and reissue it?
Well, that was going to be my last question after we covered off the exceptions, but let's jump to that. How long did you want this to be in effect?
I think the mayor probably, how is it in Fargo? The mayor does that?
Yeah, he just, yep.
Or a majority of the commission.
However, I guess, but it's got to be something we can do rather quickly if things should improve. So, I mean, I'm okay with giving the mayor authority to take it off whenever he so chooses.
Did you want to?
Or you could always do it by color code too.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
That way it takes the pressure off of him.
Yeah, that's true.
If we get to green or blue or whatever.
Go ahead.
If it drops down a color code, did you want to remove the requirement for masks, or do you want to keep that in place?
So right now we're in an orange, right? So,
Yep, second highest.
yeah, my concern is that say, okay, we don't even get to a red, say it drops to the green. Yes, I would be okay with that. And
There's one in between, Mark. There's yellow.
Yep. But I think it's fair to keep this on in yellow and possibly even green. But I don't know.
I don't want to go green. I don't want to go green. I mean, I would rather have these people have some hope to at least get back to green again. I'm okay with keeping it because it's yellow now, right? And
No, we're in orange.
It's
we're in
orange.
orange. I mean, so we're talking about it now because there's a problem. To me, if it goes down one, then I would be okay. No mask again. But, maybe this is something, the mayor will have more flexibility, I think, on this than we will. As far as taking it off, putting it on, and obviously, Brad, we would be talking with him, giving him our ideas, but.
Right.
I
kind of go with Tina that we go down to green versus just one.
And the reason I say that is because, and I'm sure Brett and Brad, whatever you guys think is, we were in yellow and it brought us to orange because we didn't have masking. And just for the security of everybody, I don't want us to drop to yellow, drop the masking and go back to orange. And then just keep jumping back and forth. But it's whatever.
That could happen anyway, though. I'm hoping that we get down. I mean, I think either we drop one and it goes back to green and then we're okay, or yellow. Put it this way: I'm to dropping one color code down, or else let's just give it to the mayor and he can make that decision. He's the mayor. I mean, you know.
I would recommend going down to green because like Tina said, we were at yellow for just not that long of a period. And then all of a sudden, boom, we got into the orange and we are where we are right now. And I guess that's where I would land on it. We'd have to drop down to green. And then we're back up to 75% capacity, cap of 200 people. Pretty much close as normal as we can. And we don't have that yo-yo back and forth all the time. And most of the people are going to wear masks. They are or they aren't. And all we're doing is helping put everybody in the same playing field as far as the business is, the way I look at it. They don't have to, like one business has it, next one doesn't. They're going to lose business because they're asking people to wear a mask.
Well, let's move on for 1 minute from that one. I want to ponder that. Can we go? The only other concern I have is item 5, John and Brad. Persons driving a motor vehicle alone or with passengers from a driver's household. You know, if I go pick up my buddy or something, we're in the car and we're driving somewhere. I don't think that should be in there at all. I think that should be left alone. You're really getting into privacy, into somebody's personal privacy. Now, these are not public. They own this car. I mean, it's a little bit different here.
Well, they would be exempt. That's for the exemption. So 5A 1 through 10 are exemptions. So the exemptions include persons driving a vehicle alone or with passengers from the driver's household.
I get that, John. That's what I'm saying. I don't like the driver's household. I think, you know, if I go pick up a friend or something and we're heading somewhere, now we got to throw our masks on and I'm in my own car. If
Mark picks me up and we go off to go look at something.
Right. Now we got to put our masks on. And I think that's getting too personal. I think that's going too far into my personal, you know, it's one thing to do it if you're going into a business and for sure a public area. But when you're in my car like that, I think that's going to create a lot of trouble. Especially since we can't do anything anyway. We can't do anything about it. So it's all we're doing here, you know, is talking.
So go ahead.
John, I have a question. In here, it doesn't specifically say, but this was kind of what I thought you were trying to get to with this, maybe, was public transportation. Like if I do an Uber or a Lyft, everybody wears a face mask. Maybe we could specify it as that's one that is not exempt, is if you are in an Uber, Lyft, or some other sort of public transportation, masks are required.
Sure.
And that takes the privacy out of it, the private vehicles out of it.
And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine.
Same here.
With that. Okay, so we could change that.
John, could you also just change the numbering? It goes 1, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, there's a typo.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
Good
it's,
catch,
we can-
Tina.
We can keep it at 11 or 10 then, huh? If you remove it.
yeah, there you go.
Go ahead.
The only other one that I see, and it's just it's not even a problem. It's just written wrong. We're on page 2. It says item number 2 implementation. It says effective 5 p.m. Friday, October 16th. But on the bottom it says it's effective immediately, and obviously we're already gone. So that date needs to be changed. Correct?
Yeah, this was when I had originally started drafting, and it was Thursday or Friday. So.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I have one other question, and maybe this isn't even an issue. I know I was discussing it with someone, but number 10 under the exemptions, I mean, I know that's a fact because we talk about it all the time. Is that going to kind of enrage the public because we're telling them they have to do this, but these particular factions don't have to, even though we know we can enforce it.
Yeah, I looked at that too, and
The reason, so just, I'll be frank, the reason that I put it in there is there was some concern expressed at a city commission meeting about a requirement for
Yes.
commissioners to wear masks. I will do whatever you guys tell me to. This is a policy issue. And so just tell me what you want.
to
I
me, it
don't want
looks
it. I don't
bad.
like it in there. Yeah, I don't like it in there.
No.
It
To
just
me,
will make us
strike
look
it.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes us look bad that we're above the law, above this directive.
Well, just a counterpoint to that. If you have a meeting, a city commission meeting, and you guys aren't all wearing your masks, that could also send the same kind of message. So I just throw it out there for consideration. That's totally a policy issue for you guys.
The last few meetings that we've been distancing, I mean, we're 6 feet apart, and that's what counts, right? No, it doesn't.
Or we're
in the old-
virtual.
Yeah, we're virtual now. I really don't care either way on that one, quite honestly. That's not,
Me, I think we need to take it out of there. What do
right?
you think, Tina?
I was just looking at it after my discussion with the commissioner. I was just looking at it as, it just seems like it sets anybody that's elected, like they don't have to follow the same rules. I believe that if we have a commissioner that has an issue with it, that it can be addressed the way it was addressed last time. A phone call saying, this isn't the law. We're saying this is what we'd like people to do, like you to do, but we cannot force you to do it. Just like we can't force anybody else. And then just leave it up to the individual.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think too, Brad, take it out of there. Just gonna cause more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in trouble no matter how we go with this one, so.
Right.
Okay, so now we need to go back to how we're going to adjust this. Does the mask strategy end at green, or does it end at the president of the commission's directive?
I think it should be the president's directive. That's what Fargo is, right?
Or a majority of the commission.
Or a majority of the commission, yeah.
What I thought about, since we are referencing some of the orange requirements, that in the termination clause, we would say that those orange requirements would just terminate, like the capacity issues. Those just terminate when the governor reduces it to a different level.
Okay.
So the mask, go ahead.
I still like giving the mayor or the commission control over that, though. Just in case there's something comes up or whatever, that we still have control over that. If we do this, we have no control. That's the way it is. Unless we go back again and change it. Majority of the commission or the mayor or the president, I think, should be able to handle that one.
Okay.
Do we want to add in there anything about in consultation with
CDC?
Cass County Health,
Yep.
all those other, things like that? I
Okay.
don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm okay with that, Brad.
I have a question, John. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tina.
You list the different levels, and then you discuss orange. Is that what you were saying, is that you're going to put in there that as we switch from critical or high to maybe moderate, please refer to these as the occupancy numbers that relate to this mask strategy?
Yeah, what I thought about was that the mask requirement would stay in place.
Yes. Yep.
But if the governor reduces it to a yellow level, then the capacity requirements would go away.
Okay.
But
Got it.
And what if the governor changes his capacity level? Will this automatically change to mirror that?
yeah, that was the intent.
Okay, perfect.
Because if we go down to item 8, this is basically what we were talking about, right? Effective date and term. shall remain in effect until the underlying state of emergency has ended unless it's sooner modified or terminated by the president of the West Fargo Commission or by motion or resolution by the West Fargo City Commission. So it doesn't list a color code in there. I think, Mark, that's what you're saying. It kind of leaves the discretion up to
Right.
Bernie.
Right. Or
And-
us, or us.
Or us, right? But I in there, I think I would also like to say, show that it must, in consultation with
Okay,
public health, just
I'm
so
okay
it
with
isn't just us on a whim, you know?
I'm okay with that.
Under 4A, John, is that where you would add the wording that this would fluctuate based on the color coding?
Actually, it was going to expand the termination clause slightly to
Oh.
address that. 'Cause
That's right,
those,
okay.
like, for item number 3 and 4, that might switch with when you go to a different color code.
Okay. But you don't think we need to have a notation under 3 and 4 saying this follows the codes chosen by
Yeah,
the governor's office, or?
we could do that, or it might be just as easy to just have the president of the commission terminated, or,
Revise it.
yeah, or revise it.
Yeah, I just didn't want people to think that, since we have it in here at 25% and 50 people, they're going to think, well, until you finally decide you want to cancel it, we've got to sit at 25% or 50 people, so that if we leave it through yellow and actually you can have more people in there, it rolls with it and they understand that, versus, okay, your thing says I can't have more than 50 people, so now we're in yellow, but I can only have 50 people.
Yeah,
You know what I
think
mean?
that, yeah, I think that's a good point, that what I can do under those sections is put that these sections will terminate if the governor's color code changes, and those capacity requirements would then follow the governor's order.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, not really terminate, but just change. Okay.
Right,
It follows the risk designations, basically,
right.
Okay.
as set by the governor.
When did you want this to become effective?
Probably, I assume you guys want this tonight after you vote on it, right?
Yeah, that would be my feeling.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's inevitable, so I'm fine with it.
Or did you want to wait until the next day, or it's totally up to you guys?
Well, I know Fargo waited a few days. But I guess, Brad, I don't know on that one. What do you want?
I thought Fargo became effective immediately upon his order. I'm not sure.
I don't know. What was it, John?
Yeah, I'm reading his order right now. It says this mandate shall take effect immediately.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I get
me
it.
too.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and redate everything for tonight then.
Okay.
We're not done yet, though.
No, we
Okay.
have liquor establishments still to talk about.
Yeah. I just don't like that we're putting in, I think they're gonna take it the wrong way. We know we can do this anyway. If they're breaking our ordinances come liquor time. I sit on that board, Tina, you do. So we know, I just don't like to see so much, I guess, a lot of negativity like this. I don't think it needs to be there is what I'm saying. I would, it's putting all the stress and all the responsibility on that business owner. And I think we just have to be responsible people as well here. We have to, and we'll change minds either way. I think we're kind of 50-50. I think no matter what we do, we're not going to win this one, but I don't like that in there, plain and simple. I don't like that in there at all.
One thought I have is, and this relates to that, so I know where John was going, but let's say there's an establishment that is not following any of these protocols. In order for the complaint to get to the Liquor Control Board, it would have to go through the police department anyway. So, and what we do every time when we're looking at licenses is look at number of complaints and what those complaints are. And so even if you took that out, those complaints are going to come forward. And if there's a bar that's having a whole bunch of them, it would be addressed immediately by the Liquor Control Board with a letter saying, you are getting several violations for violating this requirement of masking and social distancing and size of crowds in your business. please consider this your notice that this could affect your liquor license. I mean, we can handle it that way.
I like that way better.
It's whatever
Yeah,
you're
like-
comfortable with.
Yep. I
Are you okay with
agree.
that? Okay,
Yeah.
great. I think we're in agreement on
Okay, so
everything.
that section's coming out then.
Yes,
Little I, violation.
Yeah.
That's the only place where we say there's a violation, and it really isn't. We can't enforce anything like that under this directive, but yeah, I hear you.
We can handle it through the liquor control board as we have establishments that chronically overserve.
and that happens now, Tina. We have that all the time
Yep.
sometimes where we gotta do it. So.
Yep.
I'm happy. The very first one now, are we all in agreement that it should be new mask strategy?
I like the word
Yeah.
strategy.
Okay, okay,
I like
good.
it.
Okay,
Well done, John.
Yes.
yeah, thank you, John.
This
Kudos.
is a more challenging drafting moment. I,
You know, I think,
go ahead.
okay, thank you. I know the media, probably every outlet is listening to this right now. I think we have to make it very clear that, you know, regardless of what we're doing here today, the whole point of this is for our citizens to be responsible and wear their mask. And I want to point out that if we go one color up, we're done. We're closing shop. And we can't afford to do that. So folks, please put your mask on. I know you're listening. I know you don't like it. It's inconvenient, but if we do that for a month or so, maybe we can get out of this so damaged position we're in right now.
I did a little research over the weekend, and Winnipeg, who is equal in population to the entire state of North Dakota, has had a little uptick in their cases, nowhere near where we're at, not even close. And they're shutting down all bars and casinos for 2 weeks. Boom, done in the water, dead in the water. And we don't want to get there. So like Commissioner Simmons said, it's all on us. And you know, think of the men and women in uniform, all the sacrifices they do all the time. It's a small little sacrifice that we have to do for a couple of months, I hope, is all we have to do this. So very
I
good.
agree.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Are we done?
You got your orders there, John?
I do. I will have an updated version ready to be sent over later today. So
Try to get it to us, John, before the meeting though, so we can look it over and make sure we got it.
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.